Hey there! Welcome to Panda's Kitchen. Today we are going to make yaki udon. Udon is a Japanese wheat flour noodle. It's thick, delicious, and chewy. Typically you find udon in a noodle soup, but it works excellently as a stir fry as well. It's a fun twist on a more conventional stir fry. It's a great way to use up random vegetables or ingredients in your fridge. So with that out of the way, let's just get cooking. First thing is first, let's start boiling water for the noodles. I have these vacuum sealed fresh noodles that I found at the Asian grocery store. Otherwise, you can use dried or the frozen kind. They come pre-packaged like this, usually with a seasoning packet. We will save it for seasoning the tofu, but otherwise you can discard it or save it for later if you want. Once the water is boiling, drop the noodles in and cook for about 2 minutes or until the noodles start to separate. As soon as this happens, drain and rinse well under cold water. We are not looking to fully cook the noodles at this point because they will cook throughout the stir fry. Let's start off by making the sauce. Very simple, just throw everything into a bowl and mix. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, half a tablespoon of dark soy sauce. This is only for color, so if you don't have this, just substitute in more soy sauce. Next, 2 tablespoons of vegan oyster sauce, 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of mirin. This is a slightly sweet Japanese rice wine. If you don't have this, you can sub in any other cooking wine or skip it entirely. And lastly, half a teaspoon of rice vinegar. Give this a good stir, and that's it for the sauce. When you're making a new recipe, I always recommend tasting the sauce just to get a sense of what the overall dish is going to taste like. So just deep with umami notes and slightly sweet, and that's pretty typical for a Japanese stir fry. Let's move on to prepping the vegetables. So you can use whatever vegetables you want, but this is what I have in my fridge today. Try to take a mental snapshot of what's going to take the longest to cook and what's going to cook the fastest. In my case, I know the mushrooms will take the longest time to cook and the bok choy will take the shortest time to cook. Let's start off by prepping the mushrooms. I have 4 mushrooms here. These are baby bella mushrooms, and so I'm thinking relatively thin slices. Next we'll do zucchini. The half moons are my favorite way to cut these for stir fry. Cut it in half lengthwise, and then you just slice from here. Next we have half an onion, and we'll do thin slices. We'll cook this at the same time as the zucchini, so we'll just put those together. Lastly, we have some baby bok choy. I'm going to cut this into chunks here. That's it for chopping. For the tofu, give it a quick rinse and we'll get ready to cook. Alright, so I have my pan on high heat, and while it's warming up, I'm just gonna put in about a tablespoon of avocado oil or any neutral flavored oil, and then we'll go in with our tofu right away. That's a lot of water. Whoopsie. It's fine, it'll cook out. We're just gonna squeeze this in our hands as much as possible and just kind of break it into the pan. And just really give her hell, you know? Then we're gonna just mash it with a potato masher. If you don't have one, just use a wooden spoon, but just try to get it into like a ground meat type of consistency. So we'll add about, let's say, half of this powder soup for seasoning. And we can always add more. Give it a good mix. Okay, after giving that a taste, it's not that salty, so I'm just gonna put the whole thing in. Cook this until the tofu becomes golden brown and all the moisture is evaporated. Now let's go in with our mushrooms, and we're going to cook all the moisture in here. Might take about 4 minutes. The pan is starting to get a little crowded. I'm just gonna move everything off to another plate before I add anything else. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more oil now. Let's go in with our onions and zucchini. So one thing you need to remember is that vegetables tend to have a lot of moisture. And if you crowd the pan, you're gonna end up steaming the vegetables instead of frying them. And so the end result can be a little mushy. All right, zucchini's at a good spot. Bok choy tends to cook down really fast. Just gonna throw them in. And we're gonna cook until the bok choy wilts down. And that should be very fast. So all my vegetables are cooked. We'll throw in back the tofu and mushrooms and our beautiful noodles. Stir everything well to combine. Now let's go in with our sauce. We're going to combine everything and keep stir frying until the sauce thickens up and just clings onto those noodles. Shut off the heat. A good amount of sesame seeds in. Also some black sesame. Give everything one final stir. All right, there we go. Udon stir fry, yaki udon. Ooh, boy. I'm just so excited. I'm just gonna dig right in. Look at that. Oh, yes. Yes. It's so good. There's so much umami and savoriness, and it's just flat out delightful. I just love stir fry. It's so versatile, and the flavors are just on point, easy to make. Like, what's there not to like about it? I gotta say something for Tony. I gotta be done. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you want to see next. This is so good. Really easy. Give it a shot. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Yeah.